Recording. AMA. It is officially started. What are we at? 190. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Power AMA. Andos is here. The whole mod squad. God, I love it. Good morning, Nandos.
Good morning.
The time zones is so tough. I think this 1 o'clock works probably best for everybody. At least majority.
Andos, isn't it like 4 in the morning for you?
Nah, it's 8 a.m., but
Yeah.
it feels like
Oh,
4.
okay.
It feels like 4. Oh,
I'm not a morning person.
Well,
oh,
props for being here. That's pretty good.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. The dedication this team has. This mod squad right here. I'm just gonna say has pulled us through so much, and I love you guys. That's all I can say. And I hope everybody in the chat or in the stage understands that what we've been through, where we've come from, and our limited abilities where we stand. Without these guys, I don't think we would have gotten where we're at. So with that being said, I had a couple announcements I wanted to bring to the table, which we already kind of announced that the validator node was being purchased. Cut is enthusiastic about it. He's actually working on it as we speak. I'm waiting for him to send me some transactions showing that he's purchased it. So that is happening. I'm full on excited. He said he'll give me the information as soon as it's coming. I asked him to come to the AMA as well. He said he's working on that, and he gets. I think he gets nervous being up on stage and answering questions, and that's where we come in. So don't take it that he doesn't want to. He is working behind the scenes and doing his dev magic. Trying to keep him focused.
He is where we need him, so
yes.
that's fine.
Well, and with that too, you know, the validator node, he's working on that. Something I'm trying desperately to get off his hands, and I think a lot of people have already seen it. As I saw in the general chat, I have gotten us a social media manager, I hope, to at least take over the Twitter and start making some content for Power. Like as we move forward and need some more marketing, more information, more stuff being taken care of, and not cut focusing on Twitter. What's it? Duckling. Make sure I get his name 100% right. Where is he at? Digital McDuck is our social media manager for the time as he goes through a trial process and earns Cut's trust as we have as well. So I want to welcome him as we build this and start getting some more stuff off of Cut's plate so he can focus and do the things we need him to do. And then I also, one more thing for me, I don't know if you guys want, last one for me is I have gotten a energy bot created and I need to add it. So as you guys start talking about your stuff, it was requested to have the energy price bot added. I had it made and I need to add it as we speak. So that's all I got for my little announcements. Dabs, Ronan, you guys got anything for
you? I certainly do.
All right, hit us.
All right, so last week we made a ton of progress. Josh Warner, one of our community members here, stepped up to the plate and made a really sick design for us. As you saw in the announcement, we were kind of sad to abandon what Alukavi had done for us, but it was partially complete, and it was very difficult getting in touch with him to get a complete design. So, you know, in the effort of progress, we had to abandon what he did, and Josh took over and made something that not only looks great, but for mine and Dab's sake, is incredibly developer friendly, and he did it in the tools that we're accustomed to working with to allow us to develop as fast as possible. With that being said, I'm hoping to shoot out an update maybe late tonight, possibly early tomorrow morning. But I've been working away all weekend, working in the car, really hustling here, and I think I'm closing in on wrapping up my portion of the UI. So After I'm done with my portion, we have to wire it up to the contract, which Dabs has been working on behind the scenes while I've been doing this. So that hasn't been stagnant at all. And we are fastly approaching a launch of the UI. I would love to give a date. I think what will happen is you'll see a date from us soon because this is coming together nicely. So we got to put mine and Dab's work together. We got to test it real quick, and then if all looks good, we launch it. But we're terrifyingly close, and this new design was a huge help for that. So that's my UI spiel. It's coming.
Yeah, for sure. On my end, yeah, most of the data I'm already able to pull out from the blockchain. It's just a matter of wiring some of them up. We might need to do some testing with some of you guys, like to try it out, make sure all the create buttons, creating the nodes, the right tiers, all of that is working. And the moment we get that working, we should be good to go for launch. And yeah, I don't think it will be that long either, as Ronan has eloquently put.
Yeah, we're close, guys. We're close.
Man, I love it. I'm excited. I want to say I love that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was very nervous with the change from Alu's design to Josh's, right? And I was just nervous because what we had been sharing, and man, you guys, the community took it so. You guys liked it even better, and it made me just feel the anxiety level came down for me. I'm gonna
Oh
be
man,
honest.
I had my head in my hooded sweatshirt. I had the strings pulled tight. I was like, oh no. And then
Yeah.
it was received well, and rightfully so
Yeah.
because Josh did a kick-ass job.
No,
So
he did.
yeah.
Our concern was that what we had originally shared and was built, it wasn't that. And I
Yeah,
hope,
exactly. It
yeah.
didn't matter what it was. It was different.
Yeah, and I hope everybody understands in the announcement. I'm gonna make it blatantly clear here. Alu started the design, and then he has he has disappeared, and I think rightfully so for his own well-being. Not that he doesn't like power. He's not in heck anymore. I think he has taken a step back from this environment as it was getting a little too toxic for him. Is the way I took it. And he's just separated himself. He's off doing his own thing. The last message he sent to me was that maybe this is a sign that he needs to go back to writing. So I hope it is. I hope it's something he went back to, and he's doing better because he is truly a really good guy. All that did for us was kind of leave us with like a half-baked design, and we needed more of that. And so we went with, let's create something from scratch and make it ours versus trying to pick up what Lou started and finished. So again, I want to thank the community for that because there was a lot of anxiety with trying to shift the focus, and it was well received. So awesome news.
Yeah, and I was also worried that we were going to lose a bunch of time, but we didn't. I'd say we lost, a couple days at most, which isn't that big of a deal.
Yeah. No, and that's fine too. I mean, the community too has been understanding with what we're working through and what we're dealing with. There's been a lot of changes in the space, but when we're transparent, we're sharing what's being worked on. It's understandable, right? We all have I have a real job. We all have real jobs in life, and so trying to balance, Discord and the community, and then our real jobs and our real lives. I have family and kids, so there's a lot going on. So everybody understanding that is huge. All right, we have 275. Andos, do you have anything as well?
I was just looking at the 275 people in the audience. A lot of new faces here. I'm guessing they've come over recently from other projects. It's good to see.
Yes. Power's been here. We're not going nowhere. Mascot, you got anything before we kick off into some questions? And I really do need to keep this to an hour. I do have another meeting at 2:00 my time, so 50 minutes from now. And then just to hype everybody else up, the Niners play at 3:30, so I got to be off for that. Mascot, you got anything? That's right. Is Mascot here?
Yeah, no, I you guys pretty comprehensively covered everything. So I think with that, we're good to start going into some questions here.
All right. Well,
let's go ahead and bring you up.
All right. If you guys got any questions, which we do have Sugar Bear already, I'm going to send you the invite. And let's get you guys up here. We got Sugar Bear and Nader. Sugar Bear,
Hey,
you
how
there?
you doing? Yeah, I'm new to Power, about uh 10 days in
Oh, welcome.
to create human. And I was curious with other nodes out there with Power. Uh, Maybe I haven't seen it yet in writing, but what are some of the features that you guys are that we have um, to prevent like large withdrawals going into like months from now?
So
And
like
then
over the counter stuff?
like when somebody with maybe like 30 40 nodes decides to like do withdrawals from rewards.
Mm-hmm.
And then my last question would be like, what dreams that you have for Power, not something that might come, relevant or something, but dreams like 2 or 3 years down the line.
So I can answer the first one. The first one is I know for sure the devs have been reaching out to the mod team, which is us, on over-the-counter trades to help with the large sales. So most nodes, I'm going to show, for example, Thor and Vapor have created an over-the-counter type of transaction where you link two people together and they can sell between each other over the counter safely. Cut has mentioned he doesn't really like this, and he doesn't like the security level involved in it. And I'm gonna go down that road. That Cut is a security advisor in real life, so he has this in mind. So he's trying to build something a little better via the site. I don't have that true vision, but he is thinking of something over the counter to try to help that. And that was actually just being discussed yesterday. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. He was asking for our input and what we thought of the next steps, right?
Yeah, it was like less than 24 hours ago.
Yeah. So he's trying to figure it out, a better solution. The probably the short term is do a Discord one, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't like it. Doesn't make me comfortable with dealing with large amounts of money that I'm not involved with on a protocol. So Sugar Bear, if you understand where us mods come from, we're just mods from the community who've been here I've been here since day one and have zero control over the protocol other than the community. So understanding that, and then with the dream, my dream is that Power continues. I'm going to do everything in my power. And as you guys have seen, who've been here since went through the Christmas fun that we had, this mod team has been here and never gave up. And so my dream is that we don't, and we continue to keep building this, keep the sustainability key, and evolving too, right? In this space, ever evolving and keeping up is key. NFTs coming, evolving into something where those are added to nodes, whatever it comes to. I don't have a true, not having control over the entire protocol, but it continuously improving is probably my dream. You guys got anything for the second question?
Yeah, I'd like to see it evolve into something a bit more utility on a global level, like contributing to renewable energy, stuff like that in the actual outside of the crypto space. I think would be good.
Yeah, that's good. You guys got anything else, Tabs, Ronan? The second question is kind of tough for us because we can give ideas. It's just we don't have any control over it.
No, it's cool. Thank you. But you guys have like more like communication with the developers and stuff.
Correct.
But maybe you've been able to picture something a little bit different than what we have. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We do have direct contact. I mean, and then the devs come into the chat from time to time, and I will say they do see your guys' messages. Like I'll get a message from Cut with a link to somebody's idea, and he goes, "What do you think of this?" I'm like, well, let me see. What are you talking about? And I click into it, and it's like a link from or a message from like 6 days ago from somebody throwing an idea out. So
Yeah,
they are.
He's reading everything. It's it's unbelievable, but he's scrolling.
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool.
He's scrolling.
Sugar Bear,
Go ahead. I love the Cut chat room to where at least we can go in there and see what he's answering.
Yes, and I'm going to give a lot of that credit to Exy, one of our advisors. I just want to say thank you. Killing it. Because I can't keep up with that. I wake up because, he usually comes in at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning my time. So I don't even know half that stuff happens. So Exy, the advisor team has done an amazing job with that. So that's cool. Sugarbird, thank you for your questions. Let's see. Let's move to Nader. You there?
Yes, I'm here. Long time listener, first time caller. How's it going, everybody?
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, so I've been rugged about 100 times and
Oh.
kind of fell into the node space and fell in love and got onto Thor pretty early on and a couple others. So I'm pretty heavily invested in Thor and Power. Just doubled down on Power this morning, so I'm super excited about that. But question. As far as sustainability, I may have missed this early on because I didn't catch right when you guys started this, but are you guys sustainable for rewards right now? And if not, what does that look like for changing in the future? Is that a higher claims tax or just need the treasury assets to be larger to be more sustainable, or what's that looking like right now?
So if you have been in Thor, you'll in seeing us here at Power, the one thing I know for sure is we changed rewards very early, and we were much smaller than Thor. So we dropped from the what was it 7%, the 0.7 of the 10 tokens to 1%. Right after Christmas. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like the beginning of January. And so that helped us tremendously with our sustainability, right? Cut foresaw this and jumped in front of it. Whereas like Thor they lowered it just a little bit. And as you can see, the craziness that has ensued with their rewards reduction to continue sustainability. So that was a big plus on our side. I'll say that, right? It was we cut rewards very early, and 1%. I think is the overall market rate right now. There is some that are like 1.2, 1.4%. Moving forward, right now our investments, I think every protocol is hurting with their investments, but that's going to be our, one of our main keys. And then whatever comes out of the governance token and how we utilize that into the next stage for sustainability there.
Okay, and then do you think rewards are gonna lower or claims tax will go higher, or are you like roughly comfortable with where it is right now?
I don't see rewards going down, but it's always a possibility, right? I'm not going to make any
Sure.
guarantees. I think the 1%, we got to stay at market rate, right? If we go down to, I'm just going to say 0.5%, what makes anybody want to join us, right? You got to have that market
Sure.
rate. So everybody else is at 1%. So we're at market rate. That's number one. The taxes, guys, I want to say there's some conversations on taxes with cut, but there's so much going on. I like the 10%. I'm gonna be honest with you. I do not like the ROI tax system, but it could be something implemented, on the site if it's done right. I think I would be okay with it.
Cut has mentioned that the rewards he does believe are completely sustainable, and there shouldn't be any reductions, or at least further reductions in the foreseeable future on those.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't like the idea of maintenance fees.
Oh
and
yes.
stuff like that. I don't believe as well. He won't be implementing them at least anytime soon. I think if anything to increase sustainability, maybe in the future there may be an increase in node cost overall. Maybe that might be a method. I don't think rewards itself will reduce that.
Yeah, there's different ways to attack it. I think what with the 1% and the 10% tax that we have, it might change. Maybe you do a little bit different percentage on higher ones, vice versa. But nothing we know of right now. That's
Perfect. That answers my question.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you so
It's
much.
not even up for discussion right now.
Yeah.
We even brought
Okay.
up the maintenance thing to cut, and he
Ye-
was like, "No, we don't need that." Like literally, I have a screenshot and I showed it to everyone in general
Yes.
chat.
Yeah, we were all actually
Okay.
against it as well. So that maintenance fee, I'm heavily against it. Especially since I know we're getting a validator, it's getting ready to happen now, so there is going to be a fee there on the Power protocol side, but when you don't own something like that and you're not paying a fee, why would you have implemented a fee, right? So but even then Cut said that's something he does not want, and we were against it as well.
It was one of the main questions coming over from Thor.
Yep.
He's going to have the fee. You're going to have the fee. They weren't happy about it.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Cool. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. All right, let's get some of these questions going. I invited Johnny. Come on up.
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yes,
What's
we
up,
can.
brother?
Nice. First time chatting with you guys. Been here since pretty much the start. I just wanted to thank you guys for keeping this project alive during the dark days and all the community members too who stayed positive and help out in chat.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I just had a few things. One's like a now question and one's a later question. As you can see, we're getting a ton of new people in the chat, which is great. A lot of new people to the project. And I know that you guys have heard this a million times already, and it's been brought up by a million people before, but there are obviously some errors on the site, the white paper, some things that would take like literally 5 seconds to fix. I think, just to put out the best image to new people and also to prevent the same questions from coming up in the chat over and over again,
Mm-hmm.
I think we should really suggest to cut like, hey, fix the Discord link on the site. Like, let's just tweak the white paper real quick. Like, honestly, those two things would make such a big impact, and I'm sure there's a few more things. What's your take on like suggesting some immediate fixes that wouldn't take more than like 5 to 10 minutes of dev time?
So I'm gonna be brutally honest with you. I have started conversations. I've been trying to run with this stuff on my own. There has been 2 amazing community members who have already recreated the white paper. I have sent one to Cut to say, hey, here's an updated. It's not official. Can you please go through it and update and post it? There's another one who is working on it, and he just needs to update the tiers with the new images, and he's ready to send it over to me as well. So I've run with those, trying and trying to get those updated as soon as possible. They've been sent to Cut. I'm with you. We the mod team has an entire channel of a to-do list, and I think what happens is Cut gets lost in Discord. And what I mean by that is it can be overwhelming, right? You have 500 messages from people saying, whatever's going on, and then you have 500 different pings inside the Discord. And if you don't manage that appropriately as a person, right, you get lost. So we have an entire to-do list that I tried to create and make it simple for him. I just don't think he sees it. What I mean by that is he's constantly trying to work on the protocol, the contract, and then answers only the pings, right? The notifications. Because the Discord link, I actually told him again today, and I'm gonna be brutally honest. I sent a big ping to all the admins, and his response was he does not understand how the Discord link keeps expiring. Why so he understanding how Discord works, when you create an invite, you can change it from 1 day to 5 days to 7 days to never. So I have provided them the link that doesn't ever expire. I hope they actually take it and use that one rather than creating a new one. And I think what's happening is they keep creating a new one. Like, okay, I'll just create a new invite and put it on the page, and then it expires in 7 days again. So I've tried to explain that, and I've also shared that with him. I'm with you. Little minor things. I've started paying for things out of my own pocket. I'm going to be brutally honest. The bots I've paid for. Those all came out of my pocket, and then I'm going to chase Cut down on the backside and say, hey, I paid for all the bots. The one that I just implemented, if you guys take a look in the Discord, the energy Discord bot, I paid for that. So I'm trying my best and try to keep these things rolling. I'm probably going to have to compensate if we utilize the white paper that the other guys created. I'll probably have to try to compensate them for their work, and then fight on the backside to get it. But it's all more so to continue moving this project in the right direction. I think Cut and the developer team just have so much going on in managing Discord. I would love to share my DMs with you guys because it just blows up, and if you don't manage it properly, I think that's what happens. Is they're just struggling to keep up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want to make you answer for it anymore. I totally understand the struggle. It's just kind of, in the
No,
chat over and over.
no,
I'm just
agree.
like, let's save ourselves all some headache and just get these tiny things fixed. But no, I get it, man. Don't worry.
No, and thank you for the question. I'm going to be transparent. We have nothing to hide as mods. We're doing everything we can, and I think the devs are trying everything they can. They from what I know, they have full real-time jobs, and they're trying to keep this running as smoothly as possible with that balance, right? And so they also struggle with opening up, right? I had to take Dabs and Ronan and shove them into
Yeah, he rammed him down cuts. We rammed us down Cut's throat.
like, can you please give these men, like, we want to save this. If you were here during Christmas, it was give Dabs and Ronan access. What kind of access do I need? I don't care. Give them access. They are here to help you. Look what we've done. Look at we've been here, right? So it's a security thing for them as well, right? They're nervous to give up their baby. So, but we're trying. And I appreciate
Yeah.
the questions.
Right on. All right, I have one other question.
Okay.
This may have been answered in other AMAs, but I might have just missed the more in-depth explanation. So when with like all of this talk about nodes turning into NFTs, I like that idea in theory for people to be able to abandon their investment or cash out if they want to. But I'm struggling to understand what the incentive for buying the power token would be if nodes are NFTs and tradable on a secondary market. Like what would keep the value of power?
And that's a good question. That's something that definitely has to be balanced out, right? As you guys see these new nodes or these new node projects come up, that's the balance. Is how do you keep the token utilized? So what happens on the secondary market? I don't know if you guys know about universe nodes. Not trying to pump them, but when they sell their NFTs, it's at a lower rate, right? So if you're buying an already utilized, I guess, NFT, you're getting it cheaper. So that question really does come up with how does this transition into something like that? And I don't see that truly happening. I would like to see where you have a node and an NFT booster. Not necessarily they turn into an NFT, they have boosters. But that stuff's way over my head as I'm not a dev and I don't know how the hell that works. Dabs and Ronin could probably answer that a little better. And Andos probably.
I'm just thinking with the NFT, just because if they do exist, just because you have the ability to sell nodes from that point or whatever it is, doesn't mean people are going to either. I don't think there's going to be a massive sale of people that have nodes that want to, for some reason, get rid of their nodes. You'd have to be pretty desperate, I think. If you've got a stack of nodes there and you suddenly decide for whatever reason you want to sell them, I don't think many would actually sell.
I just think it would basically only negatively affect the buying pressure on the power token.
Yeah. I think that can be compensated though by taxing it well enough.
Yeah.
For example, if someone buys the node on the secondary market for cheaper, a big portion of that would go to tax. So, like I said, the seller would have to be pretty desperate to want to sell anyway. So they're just trying to get whatever profit they can get from it. It'll be heavily taxed, and the money that's taxed would then be used back in the market to, I don't know, do buybacks or something to compensate for that lack of token sale. Or however it would work.
Well, and I'm going to use an example that I just seen at Universes. They had a $56,000 node that sold for only 15. So you're selling way below your market on your node. So like you said, you'd have to be pretty desperate, right? So but that's all just speculative. We have no idea which direction we are going with NFTs because as the mod team, we have no idea.
We would probably urge cut that the most important thing with these NFTs, like you see with Univ, like Renegade has said, is that they don't really there's no cap on the nodes and they don't really supply any value, right? All the node right now is it's just a sellable store of value. So I would urge cut, or at least for me personally, moving forward if we move into that NFT territory, that there is some form of value associated to having the nodes as NFTs. other than just a store of value, right? Because at that point, all it really is just an ejector seat if people want to get out. And
Yeah,
that
I
doesn't
think
really create a healthy market. It just creates a market of, well, at least now I can kind of save a little skin.
I'd like to see NFTs that do something like increases your node limit per wallet from 100 to 150 or something like that. Something a bit more simple, but more, just a ability to sell the node itself.
Yeah. Well, and there's pluses and minuses to that, right? I'm gonna be brutally honest. The amount of compromised wallets that I've seen in like help support tickets and whatnot, and I'm talking across most protocols, but it is disheartening, right? So does this allow you to then transfer out of a compromised wallet back into a new wallet? That's a plus. Or does it allow that the scammer to get it out? So just a lot of things to think about with NFTs and how that all works for me at least.
Yeah, I'll definitely be paying attention, see more ideas on that. But cool, guys. I think I'm good. I'll let some of the guys get up here. Thanks a lot for everything.
Thank you. Nahiri sent you an invite. Good questions too, by the way, Johnny.
Hello.
Nahiri, what's
Hey,
up?
what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up?
Advisor.
Oh, yeah, I'm French, so like I have a little accent.
It's okay. What's up? I love it.
Yeah, I wanted to say that I love what you guys are doing. You are doing a great job, and I had a question.
Shoot,
man, what's up?
I just wanted to know just the progression of the implementation of the DAO and the new contract. Is there any news?
What was the first part? The DAO?
Yeah, like the token energy, it will be a governance token, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So
So
we're waiting for more. I wish I wish I had more information on this, and that's what's kind of disheartening for us. Me and Andos kind of talked about it the other day. We wish we had more info on the energy token. The only thing we can share is that it will stop. And Cuts said this in chat is that it will stop printing in, I want to say it's 20 days now, right, guys? I think it was 22 days.
Yeah.
So
right around there.
it will stop producing in 20 days. So I'm hoping we get more information before that.
Yeah,
but there,
utility wise,
yeah, no
he
idea.
didn't give us much, but I'm letting you guys know now. He did give us some info that we can't give to you guys yet. You should try to accumulate as much energy as you can. Not financial advice,
okay.
but
Not
I'm
buy
just
it.
saying.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
love it.
Look at
I
Devs.
bought some. I bought a ton, and I'm farming more.
I'm
Let's just say Cut has some plans, and it's going to be awesome.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what information he has that I don't have. I just know that it was going to stop printing and it's
He's
going to
like,
be
what
utilized.
text did I miss?
Yeah, I'm like, hold on, I'm going back to I got to go back and read because I didn't.
Yeah, you guys got to go back up. He mentioned it. It was
Oh.
like a wall. It was a wall of text about energy and plans for power and energy.
Interesting. Maybe I just read right through it, or I didn't
All
understand it.
All I know about energy is he definitely didn't create it for no reason. He's got plans.
Yeah.
How quick those plans will come to fruition is obviously on him, but it's definitely not going to be a wasted token.
Yeah.
So wherever you can farm it, I think it's beneficial to do so.
And I'll say this too. You know what's really cool is, we went out, Cut and went out and made this governance token, and everybody was like, "What's this?" And we started farming. And I was talking with some counterparts at Thor, and they're like, "Why'd you guys do this?" And I'm like, "Listen, I don't know. What do you think of it?" And I'm trying to get some tidbits, and they're like, "I think that's not the way." But now look what Thor has done. Thor has followed and done the same thing. We were ahead. We're not the little brother. Cut knows what he's doing. We cut the rewards sooner. And we started the LP farming and whatnot, and our own governance token well before. They don't even have a governance token. They're paying out in Joe, which is different, and I like that too. But Cut was first.
Yeah.
I like it.
Cut was first. They had to cut their rewards.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You good, Nahiri?
Yeah. Thank you for responding.
Absolutely. No, and I want to say thank you again, all the advisors. You guys have truly helped. I we couldn't do this without you guys. I'm gonna be brutally honest. You guys are community members here, strictly helping, just like we were. And so I appreciate you guys more than you know.
Thank you, thank you. There is no problem, man.
All right, let's get the next one up. We got some good questions up. Here, I'm gonna put you back down to the audience, buddy.
Okay, okay.
Thank you. All right, weekend hype.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
So I just had a question. I know Dab shared earlier in the chat the updated node count, and it looks like a little bit over 50% of our total nodes are superhumans, and it looks like most of the money is flowing to the top. I'm just wondering if you have any info or insight on, whether there's plans for caps or what, because I feel like the longer we're at these lower prices, the money's just going to keep flowing to the top tier. So I'm just wondering, curious if you have any details to share on that.
Good question. I don't know about caps. I don't think it's been mentioned. It might have been. There's so much information flowing through what we talk about in and out, and then what's solid, right? What's the solid plan? Because he might say something, and then we don't see it for a while. Dabs, do you remember anything about a cap?
Cut did mention about limiting the number of nodes that were to be created, but I'm not sure as to
That number?
like what else is
Yeah.
behind it and what that number is going to
He
be.
he very lightly brushed over that. Something to do with potentially no new nodes would be created, but people with existing nodes could still compound. He did mention something to do possibly with the NFT link to that as well, but it wasn't anything in great detail or certainty. I think he might have been spitballing ideas, looking for feedback on that, or he
Yeah.
could be more certain. We're not too sure. I did like the idea of limiting it to new nodes and then just being able to compound still, because that would give the NFT a bit more utility then as well. But I don't think anything's certain.
Yeah, nothing's certain. I'll also want to say I don't think, if I remember that message, it's not something of a concern just yet. So since we cut our rewards to 1% so early, right? Think about how Thor has been paying for the last 30 days, double our rewards, right? And the token price is double, or well, far more than double now, but they've been paying far more than double in rewards. So that puts them in a tougher situation. I want to say Cut said we are, in a much better place with where we are at with our rewards.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, the percentage of superhuman nodes is high.
Yeah.
But there's also not that many of them total. I think that's important too. Our node count's still very low.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything to worry about. And as the price does go up, obviously it gets harder to create those. And I don't see any issues with it, at least in foreseeable future.
Same. Good question, though.
Wait till FTM gets listed on a sex, like, Coinbase, it'll be over. Our price is just gonna shoot up. That's literally why Thor's price is high compared to ours. It's that AVAX is really easy to get, whereas to get FTM, you have to cross bridges. And most people are too afraid to do that shit.
Yeah, no, that's true. It is very true. We have a much smaller percentage of people on the Phantom network compared to Avalanche. That is true. Oh, you know what, guys? I apologize. I did not open up the AMA questions. I had to close it down because we were getting so many questions in there. So if you guys have questions, I'm not going to be able to probably get to them all, but post them there, please, because I'm trying to. I keep getting pinged in the chat. Putting the NFT thing together, the comments about node cap coming to play. At some point, the only new nodes made will be compounding. Ah, where did you get that? Or are you just asking? The power token holds value because that is the only way you'll be able to buy a power node on the secondary market. This is the way. He's put this in various places. Good point. All speculation until Cut puts it in stone for us. So we can hype. Thank you for the question. Are you good?
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Let's keep on moving. Sorry guys about forgetting to open up the AMA questions channel, which is right above the stage. Here we go. Are you going to burn 90% of the tokens like Thor did?
They were already burned.
Yeah, 95% was burned. Game Words, if I'm not mistaken, before launch. So there's only 1 million in circulation. Let's see. Okay, go back to stage. All right, we have 6 questions still. Jive, let's get you up here. First of all, I'm going to invite Jive. Jive, when you accept. Let's see if he comes. There he is. Before he speaks, Jive, I'm going to say, stop spamming me with invites.
Can you?
Yes, what's up, Jive?
Hey, sounds great. Sorry for this. When this AMA started, I was at home, but now I'm driving. But I'm sure it's pretty clear.
Yes.
So I'm quickly gonna jump into the question.
Go ahead.
My question is, there are so many variables that are surrounding this protocol. One, just to give you an example, the taxes, the claim tax, cutting down the rewards, transfer fees, creating nodes, you charge of fees. Every time you're trying to play with these variables and cut it down, based on my analysis and statistical review, I feel that you are only borrowing time. Why is that you guys cannot give me a clear view in terms of saying that, hey, look, this is my statistical view. This is how we are currently based on the numbers. This is how much we are generating on a daily basis, and this is how much we are burning. And if we go to this threshold, we will have to cut down the number so that we survive. See, because the moment you show that number, all the community members who are participating in your protocol, they can see how many days they have to live with this product. Because sooner or later, you're going to cut loose this whole project because you don't have anything to give back to the community as rewards.
Well, see, I understood, but you do know there's so many variables in that number for the runway, right? Like every day, that number changes drastically depending on the volume and everything else going inside of it. So to give you a number, it would change the next day.
Yeah, let it change.
If the structure was straight Ponzi, for example, there was no treasury, you could work out a runway and say we have this many nodes, you need this many new ones created to fund the rewards. That would be a lot easier to work out, even variable, and you could calculate that daily.
Correct.
But yeah, with a treasury with multiple investments, it would be hard to calculate. You've got how many nodes are created, how many new investors, the current state of the market overall, and then the current state of each investment you made. And did the investments you make also change in their protocols, which changes their rewards and stuff like that? I mean,
it's just difficult. Jive, I agree. Yeah. I think it's a great question, and by no means are we, the mod team, able to give that to you. So I hope you understand that first, is that we do not have access to all that data and information other than the same stuff you have. I have no back-end information. I can't even access the, what's being moved in and out of the contract. But it's a great question. It would have to come from the dev team, which I don't think to the point of how complicated it could be, they'd have to spend a lot of time to create something to give you that information. Now, if you could create something and pitch that to Cut to then have that ability, that's something. Would you be able to do that with your statistical experience?
Yeah, see, it's possible to create such kind of a tool using any big data tool, okay, be it Splunk or whatever is available out of the market. But the biggest challenge, what I see right now is, invariably, you guys are introducing derivatives, okay, be it one, you introduce something called as an energy token. You are going to introduce NFT. See, what I believe is there is someone who has a visibility at the back end to the treasury, and he realizes saying that, hey guys, we're gonna not survive in the next 28 days. Let's introduce something so that we keep this going. And that churn is continuously happening without a sense of visibility where we are heading towards.
Well,
see, I'm not trying to hear me out. I'm not trying to run this project down. I'm really in awe with this project. You guys have made a real good product. Okay, but there got to be certain boundaries at which you're going to operate. And these boundaries will only come if you set the limitations in terms of the number of nodes, number of tokens, number of NFTs, derivatives that comes into picture, that's when slowly the value of your product will keep improving. Else, it's just like we stand at the same place. Today it's like, you're gonna say I need 10 tokens to create one node. Tomorrow you'll say I need 11 tokens. 10 days after this you'll say 20 tokens. The guy who's been investing in it, he realizes saying that he's not gonna get an ROI for the next 100 years.
Jive, I hear you, but to be honest with you, it's not that we're just there, and here it's not the mod team, but understand.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, hold on. Let me answer you first. It's not that they're coming up with ideas. If you look at the roadmap, NFTs, staking, and farming was all there in the first place. So it's not them going, oh no, we're running out of runway, and now we need to come up with a new plan. So that statement is not accurate. I want to clear that up for you right now.
Okay, so if you had a plan, if you had a roadmap, okay,
it's there.
How is it you're not able to anticipate and visualize saying that at certain point of a threshold, we'll have to cut the rewards? And why did you not declare that upfront in your roadmap?
We already cut the rewards way ahead of time, and we did not foresee all these other node projects rugging the shit out of everybody during Christmas. No one foresaw that. That's one variable that no one foresaw. And that caused a tremendous amount of FUD across all node projects.
Yeah,
and you have to keep in mind that Cut caught COVID around that time. And we did not have anyone like to communicate with, and that was like the dark days around Christmas where we dipped down to 50 cents, and the community, being bullish as we were and believing in the project, brought us all the way back up to $20. So
and understand this,
and we're executing on it.
Understand this. So these ring forks, Thor forks, were Godzilla, I see you. The devs who forked these didn't truly understand what was built into them. And so they started trying to figure out on the fly, right? And that's what Thor did, and so did we. We cut very early. Now, why was it not on the roadmap? Because they weren't aware of the sell pressure issue. Like, being fully transparent, they had no idea. And as you can see with the Union of Transparency and Thor trying to make a new contract and understanding that they need this first because of how these contracts are written. So to try to answer that question, it was nothing about, trying to hide anything, if that's what you're trying to, because we cut rewards. What was it, January 2nd?
No.
Go ahead.
See, I want to be very clear, okay? I'm not, as I said, I'm not trying to point fingers out over here. I'm just trying to make sure that you guys should understand how could you bolster your future roadmap. And this is not very specific to your project. I'll be very honest. This is across the all nodeverse that is going around. Okay, across the all nodeverse who have crossed certain threshold, they're all going to face the same problem. They're all going through the same issues. They're dabbling around with the numbers. Okay, you guys have created a coded economy. Okay, coded money. Now, what's happening with this coded money is no one is able to understand saying that how do I control? And this is exactly how someone as an expertise has to get into the team from the real economy, someone who has handled treasury, someone who understands money, how it moves around, how is the inflation created. See, what's happening over here is you guys are not able to understand how to improve the cost or how to improve the value of power token. See, today, I am, as we speak, I think we are at 16.9 or 16.5, whatever it may be.
So hold on. You're saying you guys, I need you to understand, again, we have no control over the protocol. You do understand this. The guys you are talking to
on this AMA has no developmental
control
capacity to change the protocol to any degree.
Like
we're only the mouthpiece to relay information that comes from the dev team, which is primarily Cut, and what he tells us is what we tell you. There's complete transparency between the development team, between the mods, and the community. We'll be happy to relay every concern that you have to Cut. However, he has beaten the market as far as implementation of new ideas, as we've seen with our cohort Thor. So I want you to keep in mind that Cut is an incredibly intelligent gentleman, and he works in the cybersecurity industry full-time professionally and has so for years, as well as dabbled in all kinds of different economic markets. And so please, as there are 300 people listening, I just want to reassure everyone that Cut always is looking out for the best interests of the community, and he is not ignorant of these things that Jive is pointing out. So I just want to make that overwhelmingly clear that he's
Yeah.
These things that you're bringing up, Cut is thinking about constantly. Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, and implementing
yeah.
and keeping up with the market is probably where we are at and why we are where we're at, right? That you to keep up with this this industry, you've got to be able to keep up with what's going on, and sadly, we just haven't been able to at the same speeds as everybody else. That's it. That's truly it.
I just want to jump in this one
Go
too,
ahead,
because
Evans.
Javi's asking, he's asking the right questions. I
Yeah.
really like this question.
I do too.
You can have all the knowledge of the market, tokenomics, and all that type of stuff as well, but the price action that we saw in Power, regardless of how well Cut was doing, was completely, well, what I believe is completely irrelevant to the actual project of Power itself. That dip over Christmas, where it went down to 50 cents, that had no relevance to bad implementation, bad ideas, or bad structuring, or bad investments, or anything like that. It was completely what I believe is 99% human emotion based. So we can't really mention, oh, the price is $16 here, or it's so far over here, or why isn't it moving, or anything like that, and solely put it down to the project itself. But the thing that was unpredictable is, yeah, human emotion and marketing in general.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I
it's
will
very
I will
hard to
say
predict.
there's some blame, right? Not some blame, but there's some responsibility on the protocol, right? If
There
Cut
is.
didn't get sick and was able to keep moving and we could keep implementing things to keep us afloat, we wouldn't have probably gotten as deep as we did, right? As we
Yeah.
saw with Thor, they went through the same time issues as us, so there is a little responsibility. Not
There is definitely.
Yeah.
It was just there's a lot of it was a snowball effect. It was
Yeah.
a spiral.
It was a perfect storm.
Correct. So, Jive, great questions. I love it. And let's do this. For I have 8 minutes left. I want to get to some more questions, Jive. You have some really good points. Let's start a DM with you and me, and maybe we could take some of this stuff to Cut and see if we can help. All right.
Yeah, if you have a solution, dude, bring it up to us because we're more than happy to implement
see,
that stuff so we can get rich.
See, I come from a consulting background, and I can definitely give you a lot of solution, but I can't implement it. I need support from a development team to get this executed.
So I'm same. We're right there with you. I wish you would have seen the heartache we went through during Christmas. It was what you just said was what we dealt with. So Jive, thank you again. Let me get somebody else up and let's start a conversation on the side, please.
Sure, thank you for bringing me on stage. Cheers,
Absolutely.
bye.
Great questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
JSP. Man, that was good.
How you doing today?
I'm good.
All right. Hey, listen, I came across Power. I think it might have been the day of launch or the day after. I didn't know it at the time, but I was in the process of being rugged by every single other node protocol that was out there. And at the time, Power was the only platform I was in that I was in the green. And I was kind of heartbroken in late December, early January when the price started dipping. I started being active in the Discord, and I kind of saw with the community, as well as the mods, you guys were all about what you were talking about. And, when the token was dipping under 10, under 5, even under 1, I was buying because I liked what I saw. I liked the attitude. I really liked the confidence. And I think at the time I didn't know, but yeah, I guess Cut was battling COVID and just wasn't really around and things weren't really happening.
Yep.
But I would just want to say you guys did a really good job at communicating that and instilling confidence, at least in me. And I was buying Power. I would have been buying Power at 50 cents, but I caught COVID and I was dead to the world when it dipped under 80 cents. But I was buying at 80 cents. Like I didn't lose confidence in the platform when I easily could have, because I bought it at $8 before it hit $150. You know what I mean? Like I was there for that. So it would have been easy for me to just kind of write you guys off. But the point is, the reason why I'm saying that is I just appreciate both you guys and the community, people like me, just sticking around, answering questions, keeping things calm. And I have one or two questions. I'll hit you with them quick. I know you don't have much time. What are I know you have the energy thing going on. I've been kind of busy. I don't quite understand all of it, but that's fine. I'll figure it out. But what other things are in the pipeline that will slow the sell pressure of Power? Like make people like me. I have a bunch of superhumans, and I want to compound into more. But eventually, There's only so much compounding somebody can do. What are some of the things in the pipeline that will have me not sell my power tokens, but put them somewhere where we could alleviate some sell pressure on the token?
So the first one is the farming, and
Okay, yep.
taking those tokens and start farming for some energy. And as Dabs threw out there, you better fricking do it. So that's one. You being able to farm and utilize your power tokens is one. Moving forward, I'm not sure where we're heading with NFTs and how that all works. I'm hopeful it does something similar to help with the sell pressure. But to be honest with you, the biggest thing this protocol needs is the contract that, as nodes are created, that alone stops the sell pressure. So that's number one. And I hate to stress it, but that's probably where majority of their focus is, as NFTs are circling around them, as the farming situation is circling around them, as investments are circling around them. And I think that's why, you see a smaller team of devs over here at Power are struggling to keep up, because there's 700 plates spinning in their court, and they're trying to keep them moving.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, that sell pressure coming from the creation of nodes is literally the biggest thing, one of the biggest walls we have. I believe a couple days ago there was an 80K buy that shot us up to $21, and that guy noded the hell up and brought us back down to 17.
Yeah. Can you quickly explain what that means? Like, if a guy buys 1,000 power and creates however many nodes, what is the sell, like, where is the sell pressure coming from if the guy's not selling the token?
Yeah, what happens is whenever a token or whenever a node is created, some of that token goes back into the liquidity pool, and that is causing the sell pressure.
The contract itself does it. So when you create the node, the contract sells.
There's nothing we can do apart from removing it and then building it up from scratch to where that doesn't happen anymore, and it goes back straight to the treasury instead of going back to the liquidity pool.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Then my second question is, what kind of projects are in the pipeline that will help? What kind of projects are more external revenue sources? I guess like an external revenue source, is that when you guys take the treasury, for instance, and buy into some other projects, whether it be staking in a farm with the treasuries, or are there other things in the pipeline that you guys could speak to at this moment?
For more investments wise, well, so as I mentioned,
some kind of external revenue source. So right now, I guess an internal revenue source is somebody buying the token, but what type of projects are in the
validator node is going to be a big one.
Yep. So the validator node is one of our largest, which gets us from the DeFi as a service to a node as a service. But it starts that conversation, gets us there. We are having conversations with Fantom Network. I personally am having conversations with the Fantom Network Foundation, where they're going to start partnering with us since we purchased the validator. What kind of partnerships and help we can get from them in the space, be put on their website as movers on the Fantom Network, stuff like that, which is huge for us. Investments, our investments as the validator node is one of the largest we'll invest in right now. But the Luna, it will come. The community voted on Luna. We're going to be investing in Luna, and then constantly moving those out weekly, trying to invest every week into something that we as a community feel is our outward. How did you word that? Our outward invest, or what do you call it?
An external revenue source.
Our external revenue source. That's our goal there. If there's more, I am not aware of, and Cut's pretty good.
Real quick, like I'm personally trying to get a DAG constellation node. I have things in the works, but I saw that Thor actually got one, or they soft noded. I was actually kind of like, I'm not in Thor. That's a long story, but
okay.
I saw that and I was like, wow, that's actually pretty interesting. It's not something that's going to generate a ton of revenue up front, but I think that project, if it does take off, it could be pretty nice. So I don't know if that's something that you guys can bring up to Cut, or maybe bring.
It was on our last list with Luna.
It'll be on the next. It'll be on the next one as well. Yeah, it'll be on the next one. So yeah, DAG nodes, you guys are more than welcome to vote for that once the next treasury vote is coming up.
Yeah.
As of right now, we're just trying to get that validator node up and running, and then the Luna investment, and then as soon as those are squared out, we're gonna have our next treasury vote.
Yep.
Okay, the one last thing before I let you guys go. Jive for president.
All right.
Let's go,
No,
John. Make us rich, buddy.
Good question.
Yeah, I like guys like Jive. I think you should keep him, honestly, seriously, keep him close to you. I think he's got some really good questions, some really good ideas, and he keeps the fire lit. You know what I mean? He's that type of guy. You gotta like that.
Yeah, definitely need his help.
Sure.
All right, so yeah, just president, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Just to bolster when you came in, you said thank you to the mod team. We, as the mod team, want to say thank you and give a big thanks. Please tag them in chat to all of the advisors in this Discord. Please, they without the advisors, the mod team would be. We have 11,500 members, guys. Without that advisor team, we would be up a creek without a paddle. So don't give thanks to us, give thanks to them, because they are the bread and butter. We appreciate them for everything they do.
SB asked, when Power Rewards listening on D-Bank? Also, why doesn't Cut join the calls to clarify questions? So Cut, I asked him today. He said, so remember, he's 9 hours ahead of me, so it's 11 o'clock his time right now, so it's kind of late. He's probably got family, and it's hard for him to sit there and just chat with us. Or he just isn't comfortable in front of people. I don't know yet.
He made it very clear that
he doesn't like talking in front of people.
It's our job to be the mouth. So if I think having him participating in Discord, I don't want to be that guy, but we should be thankful for that, because I think that might be
growing.
a stretch for him.
Yeah, no, he's growing. He's definitely growing. I hope you guys have seen it, who's been here. And then SB on the D-Bank, I have shared with Cut how to try to get us listed for our rewards, and I'm not sure he completely followed my directions or understood it. So I will lay it out to him again. But to be able to get your rewards listed, only somebody in the top 100,000 on D-Bank can request for support. So like me, I'm nowhere near that on D-Bank. So when I go to try to ask for support on that, it tells me that I don't even have access. So it has to be utilized from the treasury account in hopes that it's one of the top 100,000 wallets. So that is in the conversation. They do know about it, and we're hoping so. Who do we got up here? I hate to cut it off with so many questions.
Can you guys hear me?
You can go. We can keep this running for a while.
So
go ahead.
Okay, so real quick here, gents. Like the program, but I do have a few quick questions. You guys did touch a little bit on the different projects you guys are working on right now, the validator nodes, and looking at those, but I don't see much profits coming from those to offset the 1% payout right now, at least not initially. I know those things probably gonna take a while to monetize. Are you guys looking at others, real master nodes, if you will? Ones I can think off the top of my head, or like Pop, Pre-Search, for example. Some of those are like just startups where you actually know you didn't need to have hardware running in the background. There are some that require you to, like, for example, like storage, and you get paid on those. So those are type of like the ones you see on like Masternode, I think .io. Are we looking to invest in stuff like those?
So
Node as a service.
Yep.
Yes.
So we're invested in Strong, and yes, DAG nodes will be a master node. I'm pretty sure we can afford one with the next treasury vote. We can probably afford two, to be honest.
Isn't it like 52,000 only for one?
So question for those. What's the payout on those, and what's the utility? I'm not familiar with those. What are the utilities on those?
So DAG is basically a layer 0 with 0 fees, and as of right now, they have very, very good partnerships, including the United States of America's Air Force, military, and a lot of it has to do with automating AI and a bunch of other stuff that's going to be insane. And it might not pay off because we're far away in terms of, actually having the technology to support that, but
so
better to be there at the start than later.
So DAG is a layer 1 node that's going to be used by.
It's a layer 0.
Layer 0 that's going to be used by the Air Force for artificial intelligence. Are they like a company? Are they like a company on the Nasdaq or New York or something like that, or
not
they're
yet?
just all blockchain type stuff?
Yeah, you can build blockchains on top of their network. So I'll send a link on Discord on their home site, so you can do a little quick read about their partnerships and who they're
Please,
working with and stuff.
please. And then the other one is mentioned Strong. I thought Strong was something similar to what we are doing here.
Yeah, so Strong is, it's very similar to what we're doing here, except that we have DeFi as a service and we have actual revenue to support our tokens instead of, having to, I don't want to say Strong is a Ponzi, but like instead of relying on new investors to pay out the new investors, we actually have a treasury that can do buybacks to make sure that the price of our tokens stay high.
And speaking of the tokens, I know I guess I'm torn a little bit on buybacks, right? Because so we're invested in the nodes and we're getting to 1%, which is okay. But let's say you invest in something like one of the other ones I'm in, invest in Krabata and Pegaxi, right? And they've already returned their income, their initial investment they've already made back in a month, and every month now they're like say generating like say $500,000 from just having members from the group play those games, for example.
Hey, I
How,
agree with you. I actually want Cut to like give me some power over the treasury so I can get us some crabs and send them on expeditions every 4 hours. Because
yeah,
Kabata has been printing me money, man. You don't even know.
So I
Alright?
know. Okay. So I'm saying yes. So I understand that, right? But the question now is that let's say you make $500,000 from that. How do you get that back to members that are old in nodes versus buying back the coin? Which I'm like, yeah, there's need to be some buybacks, I guess, but I would like for those profits, a percentage of those profits to be shared back with folks old in nodes based on the percentage of their old in.
Well, see,
Right.
that's
So
what we got to balance, though, right? Is if we want to be sustainable, just taking that investment and then just giving it out on top of your existing reward, I don't think is the idea, right?
no, and that's to be a percent. It has to be a percentage,
Well,
right?
well, I
And
would
and
say
it can be a certain amount of times. Like it doesn't have to be every single time. It could be like airs a quarterly airdrop or something like that, right?
No, that's how it's done. Your current reward system is based on how many nodes and stuff you have. So you're already getting pretty much what you're already talking about. You hold more nodes, so you get more rewards.
Yeah.
So it's percentage based already. And then
or is it? And I'm talking myself out of it as I speak now. Or would it make more sense to put that money in the treasury to show that hey, I remember the guy a couple talks ago, you saying something about sustainability and the runway or whatever.
Yep.
So I guess adding that back to the treasury.
Yep, or purchasing putting back into the reward pool, right? To where we are sustainable. So that's what I was trying to pull you back to is I'd rather go down that road and stay on our model of you're getting your rewards based off of what your nodes, right? Rather than trying to add another airdrop or percentage. I would want this to last longer, and you feel the protocol feels that rewards pool when it's needed.
So okay, so I am you've convinced me. I think that's the way to go. But one extra thing there, folks like lottery. I would say we have like a monthly or weekly lottery that we can be advertised on Twitter, and it doesn't have to be a much. Those are pretty darn cheap, $100, whatever it might be. It doesn't really matter the actual price. But that's something that will get the community engaged and will get the Twitter sphere at buzz. Like, oh, they're doing these different little things that people like. People spend money on freaking lotto tickets every week, knowing there's no chance in hell to win.
I mentioned a lotto. I think it was like 3 or 4 days ago in the chat, and I was asking people about it and how they felt about it.
Yeah, I want to say it was supposed to come out. If you guys remember, Ronan and Dabs, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't there a lottery / staking features on the roadmap?
Yep, it was on the roadmap.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, I believe Thor was releasing it, and I'm not sure if it's gonna be on the new contract that's coming out. Keep in mind that our devs and Thor devs are working together, all right, on that new contract. So a lot of the updates that Thor will get too, with a little few twists of our own. For
Nice.
example, like we do have a bug on our current protocol where sometimes you need God mode to compound into other tiers, sometimes you don't. I've seen many mixed responses. Cut does not like God mode. He literally said he wanted to remove it. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And then one last question here, and jump off the mic here. Energy. What the heck is energy? I'm sorry. I came in, I created my nodes, and then I went to work. I'm also in the military here, so my time is very limited. So I'm hearing you guys talking about this energy thing, and I'm see the price bar. I'm like, what the hell is this additional things you guys added? So real quick, a quick blurb on that for me, please.
I'm sorry, I missed the question. Say it again.
So it's
Yeah,
essentially
yeah.
energy is going to be our governance token. It's probably going to do more. Cut did mention that it's going to play a role with NFTs once that feature is released. And I do want to say something that we're going to launch the moment that we lock up the printing or the emissions of energy, but Cut told me not to, so we can't do it yet. Probably when the time goes by. Just know that it is a very high APY or APR that we're going to get at launch. So
And I can buy that on the there's a link on the site to purchase energy, correct?
There
you
is.
can buy it on Spooky.
I'd recommend farming.
Yeah, you can farm it. I bought it because I FOMO'd, but
Degenerate.
Look at Dabs over here. Why is the price of energy spiking again? Good job, Dabs. No, we definitely don't want that token to be spiking. It's not meant to be traded. That's not the purpose of it. So just do your own research. I know there's not a whole lot out there right now. Just
farm as much as you can.
That's what I would recommend. I highly.
How do you farm it? I mean,
on the site, on the DApp, on the top, it says farms.
On the DApp, there's a farms. You click on that and you can choose your farm. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll look into it. Thanks, all.
All right. Thanks, man. Good questions. So Mascot dropped off. He had a meeting he's gonna pick up for me. I'm good with going a little bit longer, guys. If you guys are running, if you want to jump over there too. Let's see. I'll answer some of these questions. There's so many questions. You guys are blowing us up today. I saw one question that kind of got me. How is Atlas at $500 price when it's on the Fantom network? And you are saying people aren't coming because Fantom needs to be bridged and all. So Crypto Incubator, I'll say this. Atlas launched with a much larger team and rolled it out properly. It was very well done. They're able to sustain their price with all the protocol requirements that are built into it. It's not a fork of Thor or Ring. So that alone has helped them. They created their own contract and it's been sustainable with what they built. So to say because their price is over, a $500 price, still doesn't mean there's a whole lot of flow of or volume compared to Avalanche. Is what I think Dabs was alluding to with the amount of volume on Avalanche compared to Fantom. That's all he was trying to say. I hope that answers your question. Dabs, if you want to add on to that at all.
Oh yeah, I think you answered it.
Yeah, it's
well.
I think Atlas came after Christmas, after all the nightmares, if you guys remember, and they hit the ground running, and congrats to them. They did a really good job. How close are we now? I don't know what that question is to the contract. I want to say I've been hearing rumblings about it over at Thor. We should be sometime in February. I wanted to say I heard the first week of February, but don't hold me to it. Rough contract release date. That's what I've heard. Any plans on rebalance reward distribution? Currently, only 70% of tokens spent to create new node goes back into the current nodes. Any plans on rebalance reward distribution? I don't think so. I think the 70% is a pretty high number. I don't see it needing to go higher, but and with us only getting 1%, I don't see that being a necessity. Who wants my recovery seat? Great name. Let's see. Leadfoot Cage, let's get you up here. Botzilla, let's get you up here. I know you were flashing on and off to get up here. Leadfoot, go first, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I've got a guy doing construction in the background. Give me a second. Let me get out of his range.
You're good. We don't hear it.
So just to tag back to masternodes a second ago, one of the things I would mention is that there is a third-party entity called Yield Nodes, which runs a aggregate of masternodes listing. So if you were going to venture into that direction at any given point, that's a good way to index the whole plate that masternodes nodes offers in a more aggregate way in a safer platform. So that was just one thing.
Yield nodes, right? I think I've heard of them.
Yeah, they're based in Europe, and I believe they require either to transact. That's the only thing that keeps me from hopping into it. Is I think you're required to either transact in euros. You might be able to do it in BTC. I'm not totally sure.
I will say this. So before you move on to the next question, everything we take, so as the mod team gathers information, other than Dabs who throws out 100 things to us as well, we take from the community and we make a list. I promise you guys. Like I'm not that smart, so whatever you guys are putting in the community ideas, I'm going through. I know Mascot's going through. Andos is also really good with this stuff. We gather a bunch of information, we make a list, and then everybody adds to it. And then if you haven't been here in the past AMAs, how that's worked is we the mods gather a list. The last one had, I want to say, 11 or 12 on the list. We then send that to the dev team, who has a financial advisor and cut, and they review it, and then they narrow it down to 3 or 4. So just giving you that any information, put it in the community treasury ideas.
Appreciate it. Will do. One of the other ideas I've been rolling around in my head that I thought might be neat. Now, originally I had spawned this idea out of the concept of nodes as NFTs, but realistically, it may be possible to do it without itemizing the nodes themselves in that fashion. And something I was thinking about is maybe long-term down the road to create small pockets of locked liquidity. Individuals, once again, I don't know how functional this is. Individuals could, in essence, stake individual nodes for locked times, and then offer mild reductions on maybe exit taxes as your incentivization to not pull from your node for 1, 3, 6 months at a time. I know at least for lower tier node holders who are all intending on compounding, right? They don't intend to take away or have any action with it anyway. So for them, there's an incentivization to just show that, like, hey, we're locked in. And then if you do it as a traditional stake, so if you want to unstake your node, you lose the opportunity for the lowered tax exit, right? But you can still then manipulate and claim your rewards as necessary if you so choose. Say you get in a pinch or you want to change your outline.
Yeah.
All right. To answer that, this is going to be a sneak review. I didn't want to say this because
I was gonna say
he didn't want to. He really doesn't want to announce this. But
well, don't do it. Don't do it on my behalf. You don't need to reassure me. I'm in it to win
Dad's
it.
about to get fired.
Very soon, we will be able to stake power to earn power at a very high APR.
Oh, this man.
And energy will also play a big role on that. So this is why
That'll
I'm
be
saying
interesting to see. That'll be interesting to see.
shit. You gotta stack power, stack energy. That's it. If you sell right
That's gonna
now
send
and
him
that
to the moon.
farm goes
Give it to the
up,
moon.
it's going to be insane. So
For sure. It's just some ideas I've been pondering about how we could create small pools of locked liquidity that the treasury could be able to actually sort of measure in real time, right?
Yeah,
for sure. For sure.
And
We
great ideas.
really don't want people selling power. We want to lock up as much of it as possible and keep it scarce because there's only 1 million of it.
Yeah, no, and I want to say your idea with the NFT thing, that whole staking, it like Dabs kind of alluded to it. I was gonna say that I want to say that's where Cut's going. So that's all I would have said.
Sure. Well, it seems like a realistic idea. I just, as a non-developer, I have no idea how feasible it is to deploy an intricacy like that with inside of a contract.
Yeah, me.
Oh yeah, it would be we'd probably have to rebuild everything.
Yeah, whole new contract.
Sure.
But yeah, it's probably somewhere in the works. I have a feeling the lottery system is going to work like that, where you can stake your nodes or your NFT nodes, and then all the rewards will pile up from everyone who has their shit staked, and then we can have a no loss lottery system where 50% goes to the winner, 20% goes to or 30% goes to the winner, 20% goes to all the losers divided up, and then 50% goes back to the treasury. That way, no one loses and everyone wins, right? And you can't just dump, because if everyone dumps, well, the treasury won 50%, so you can easily do a buyback.
Right, there's still a sustainability function. We can't self-harm ourselves if we get crazy.
Exactly. So it's in the works. I'm pretty sure Cut has thought about it. It's just a matter of like getting the stuff that's in front of us taken care of now. That way we can actually work on all these cool ideas that all of us, the community, has. You know,
Yeah.
we're all
Sure, sure,
working to
sure.
make this succeed, and this is what I love about our project. Like, I think hands down, community-wise, I think Power definitely has one of the best Discord community ever. And I am in over 30 freaking Discord channels. And Power is like the only one that I love chatting in because of the awesome community that we have. You guys make it
Hey,
so easy for us mods to do our jobs.
Hey, there you go. Well, I'll go ahead and yield back my time. Maybe throw out one classic phrase I haven't got to use in a while. Long time listener, first time caller. Appreciate the time, guys.
Thank you, Liquid.
You guys have a good one.
You
Feel
too.
free to throw me back to the sea.
All right, thank you.
Alright.
Godzilla, what you got? Let's try to wrap this up. There's so many questions. I love you guys. This is one of our biggest AMAs. I think we hit 360. So many questions. I can't keep up. Godzilla, as you unmute, I did want to answer. There was a question why we don't see the rates in the farming section. Pat Latch, Cut said he's working on that. We've asked probably 50 times. You know, the APY, the APR, give us something on there. What's going on? And he said it's coming. So that's the only answer I can give you. Godzilla, what do you got?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to throw out there that guy that was talking earlier was a little concerned about the sustainability. Really for the community as a whole. You know, anytime you ever want to check to see how many power tokens are left, you know, all y'all have to do is check the FTM scan.
Yep.
Which right now looks like I think we're like 93% the original amount of tokens.
Yeah, it's also I've also posted them. It might need to be updated, but I also posted all the wallets in the frequently asked questions.
Yeah, and also as an idea for the treasury, something that they could. I don't know if this would be something good for them to look into or not, but I think it would be kind of cool to look into an investment into a Bitcoin or Ethereum mining operation. You know, like possibly try to infuse money into an ongoing business for a portion of their future returns.
Oh, that's a cool idea. So on our last investment, we had Bitcoin and Ethereum because everybody was throwing it out there, and the devs obviously took it off there, not having it. But actually running a mining, that'd be pretty cool. I used to mine Bitcoin myself until I realized that it's too expensive here in where I live. I pay way too much in electricity. But yeah, that's a good idea.
If you could find like a good, you know, reputable business to where, you know, you could say infuse $100,000 and then for the next, you know, 5 years get, you know, the portion from those machines, and then you see kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I
and
do.
make it solar, so it's renewable as well. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
And my last thing was has there been any talks about possible like an app, you know, to make it easier for the normal person to be able to buy power and then, you know, kind of navigate through everything as a whole?
So like an actual app. See, I think Dabs, you're gonna be able to answer this better than me, but I think the issue comes down to the connection via like MetaMasks and Trust Wallets. The connection, whether you make the app, it still needs access to your MetaMask.
Yeah, it still does.
Yeah, and I know on my iPhone I can't do anything outside of the MetaMask browser. Anything.
Yeah.
Right.
I suggest getting a decent wallet or using the decent app wallet, and you can just do everything from your phone. That's what I do. I don't use the desktop unless I absolutely have to, and it pisses me off when I have to because I like being able to stay liquid, right? Like I want to compound while I'm like in the restroom in Target or something. So, you know what I
And I'm
mean?
the opposite. I'm the opposite.
Right.
I do nothing on my phone and everything on the computer because I use a hard wallet. So
Yeah.
for security reasons, I stay away from my phone when it comes to trading anything.
If you have a decent wallet, it's a hardware wallet that connects to your phone. So
Well, then you're even safer then.
Yeah, someone would have to cut your finger off if they want to steal your shit.
Noted. No, good
Well,
stuff.
all right, guys. Yep. I think we might have to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Renegade and I do have some business to attend to, and those I'm not sure if you're willing to keep this going, but
No, we definitely don't want to leave him by himself. And
yeah,
man,
dude.
we're already
Leave you to the wolves,
I've been
man.
left alone so many times.
No, definitely not happening. But we have a lot of questions. What I'll try to do later if I have time, is I'll go through some of the AMA questions. If any of the advisors or mods can go through and answer some of those, at least answer the questions in there. As I see, Eddard's already doing it, and Exy, you guys again. God, I love you guys. Thank you guys for your help. It's already half hour past the time we should have gone. I thank you guys all for coming today. And as soon as I get information on the validator purchase and setup, I will be sharing with the Discord. But it's happening. I know for a fact it's in motion right now. So with that being said, you guys have a great rest of your Sunday and go 49ers.
Niners, let's go.
See you guys.
All right, guys.
And
Have a
peace
good
out.
one. Peace.